Okay. You're a sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
What's your...
okay. It's my best friend.
I know.
Bleeding out of her head, like, and then just usually make sure she was still alive. She was still breathing intensely, just trying to stay alive. So it wasn't great.
I'm gonna need you to stay, sir.
Okay.
What's that? He's gonna stay. She's gonna die. She's going out.
Cincinnati 911, what is the address of your emergency?
This person got ran over by a car.
Okay, so you said it's a female and she was hit by a vehicle?
Yes.
When, on the night of March 26, 2017, Cincinnati police responded to reports of a car crash with an unresponsive victim, they would unknowingly become part of a murder investigation. The victim.
Sheesh. Sheesh. Managing monitors can support her in more ways. Close that.
18-year-old Maddie Hart was found in the middle of the road, unresponsive and covered in injuries. She was rushed to the hospital. Witnesses and friends who were at the scene reported that a fight had broken out, which quickly escalated when one individual began using their car as a deadly weapon.
Ladies, do you know her? What happened?
I don't listen. These girls pulled up to fight and hop on all this.
I hear you.
Let me talk to you all. They ran her over.
Okay. You know those girls?
Yes. I know all their names. I can find out their address. They ran her over. Let me talk.
I can find out the address. God damn.
No, it's okay. Relax. Have you seen your best friend ran over?
That friend's killed, okay? You need to calm down.
Trying to piece everything together, detectives interviewed additional witnesses who described a similar sequence of events. Strangely, however, although all witnesses mentioned the fight and the eventual car crash, some also claimed that gunshots were involved, adding yet another layer to an already complex situation.
She got a shot though? It looks like they shot her. She had a bullet wound right here. I saw it. She had a bullet wound right below her left rib cage.
So you think she was shot? Or you're not sure?
I saw a bullet wound right here, man. Seriously, she was just, her head was right there, her body was right there, it was on the left side of her, underneath her rib cage.
Although the perpetrator had long fled the scene, driving off immediately after hitting the victim, officers already knew who to look for. Friends of the victim not only knew who was involved in the fight, but also where they lived. Interestingly, before law enforcement began looking into possible suspects, the perpetrator, 20-year-old Brianna Benson, turned herself in after initially fleeing the scene. Approximately 6 hours after the hit-and-run crash, she was questioned at the Cincinnati Police Department.
Do you have your driver's license with you?
No, but they're not expired. I can give you everything. I have insurance and everything.
And you were in the car also?
Yeah, she was on.
He's just a hair young. And, well, you're being an educator, not supposed to do that, but it's really the age.
Isn't he 15? I mean, that's a middle school. What kind of sicko?
When disturbing messages between a Texas teacher and a middle school student surface online, detectives step in to investigate. But her sickening admissions are far worse than they could have ever imagined.
I just saw your hair in the cookie jar.
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. On July 19, 2023, the Nacogdoches Police Department receives a call from district officers at McMichael Middle School.
Hey, we've got a situation where a teacher has been, I guess, having an inappropriate relationship with a student outside of school. And it just came to our attention. Another kid here at the school showed the principal over here some Snapchats that were corresponding between the child and the teacher. But we believe everything's been happening during this summer break out in town.
The messages, anonymously posted to Facebook 4 days earlier on July 15th, show conversations between a student and 24-year-old teacher Annalie Andrews, a reading interventionist who was just hired by the district for the recent school year. Investigators contact the student's mother, and she arrives at the police station unaware of the shocking discovery.
We've looked at these messages, and they're obviously a little concerning, maybe even a little inappropriate. So I want you to look at these They're messages from Snapchat. Are you familiar with Snapchat?
I don't have it.
Well, these messages are from Snapchat, basically, which is an application that you can send messages and pictures and videos back and forth to someone, and these messages and videos, after a certain period of time, they disappear.
However, it appears that someone was able to gain access to the child's Snapchat account, as at least 12 screenshots were captured and 2 chats were deleted.
What grade is your son in? I'm sorry, I'm not
He's
familiar.
going into the 9th grade this year.
Okay, so he's going into the 9th grade, and how old is he?
15.
15. Did he just turn 15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when did...
21st.
This is a grown... Allegedly, this is a grown woman.
I would think he would have enough sense of right from wrong.
We really want to stop this from happening further. Like,
Yeah.
we're taking the initiative to do this. We don't want, if something is happening, we want to stop it now. We don't want it to progress.
I mean, that's a middle school. What kind of sicko?
Yeah. We agree.
Yeah.
We definitely agree.
Though school is out for the summer, investigators are able to intercept the teacher, Ms. Andrews, as she arrives on campus to...
I'm about to get back on kick in a minute. I wanted to come on here for a little 30 minutes. A little 30. A little 30. What was that, UPS? A little 30. I need to go to this. Everybody reacted to this shit. I need to go to the Midwest page that it came from. I'm about to get back on kick in a minute. Yeah, I'm about to get on kick. I just wanted to get on here for a few. This is all over this page. Sheesh.
Early in the morning of August 26, 2022, officers in Washington County arrested a man near a Highway 36 overpass. He was found lying in the grass, carrying a blood-stained piece of paper along with an EBT card belonging to a woman named Shauna Daniels.
We'll talk in a second. You're under arrest. Don't move.
Who was this man? And what was he doing with the EBT card of a woman who was found stabbed and burned in her apartment just hours earlier? And who was the 43-year-old victim, Shauna Daniels, who firefighters found so brutally murdered in her bedroom? Around 6:30 p.m. on August 25th, crews rushed to an apartment building on the 2200 block of South Avenue East in North St. Paul after getting reports of a fire. Thick black smoke was pouring out of apartment 8 as officers and fire crews tried to make entry, hearing someone inside cry out for help.
Where's our guys at?
Alright, what do we got? Where do you guys want us? Hey, what floor? Second floor? You need people out in the bottom?
Just hang tight.
Okay. Rush!
I say get officers out.
They could hear someone screaming, but the flames and smoke were too intense and dangerous for officers to go any further.
Did you guys hear anybody yelling?
No.
Yeah, they said they heard.
They said she's
They
up
said
there,
they heard
but
him yelling.
I'm yelling.
Here?
Yeah.
That one. I don't hear anything. I
They
tried
said they
running
heard
up
him
there.
yelling, and he was
You couldn't get in?
Oh, you can't see.
You can't get up there. It's dead black.
Yeah.
But somebody's still in
They
there?
said that.
They said
It's
something.
dead black.
Yeah. It's thick black. Can't see.
Can't see.
We got somebody hitting the window, 3rd floor.
Jump!
Tell him. Tell him.
Someone's this side. Someone hit the window.
I mean,
Top corner.
Let player know we got someone pounding on a window on the 3rd floor, top right corner.
Jump!
They're coming.
Not a problem, John.
They're coming.
You got one up there?
I'd have flying up that bitch.
Anything.
He's in the window right there. In that window.
No, we know. They're going up and they're going to get him. But
It's right, oh, yeah,
they couldn't get in because you can't
Yeah,
see.
he's in a panic mode. Oh my god. sister car. A lady and a woman. Heads up, there's supposed to be 2 people that live there and a possible dog, but it might be 2 people. There's dogs and there's probably 2 dogs. There's 2 dogs over up that top. There might be 2 in there.
The rest of the building was evacuated, and by the time firefighters got the blaze under control, the woman inside apartment 8 had stopped responding. As officers eventually made entry, they found her half-burnt body in the bedroom. Initial investigation would reveal that this wasn't just a fire, but the cover-up for a brutal crime. Multiple witnesses had seen an unidentified man in the victim's apartment window as the fire first started.
So there's a male and a female. Should be, yeah. There should be a male and a female up there.
Witnesses believed the victim was with her boyfriend that same day, and they were heard arguing at the apartment the night before. Shauna was a breast cancer survivor who was continuing recovery from her April 2020 diagnosis, chemotherapy, and double mastectomy. The boyfriend, Melvin Bilbrough Jr., then 41, had gone to Shauna Daniels' apartment 15 minutes before the officers arrived.
Thank you, Kim.
At the time, Bilbrough was a 4-time convicted felon on supervised release after serving prison time for failing to register as a predatory offender. He was released from prison just 5 months before the fire.
Nigga a real bum. Nigga burnt the crib down and got low with the fucking food stamp card, son. You can't make this shit up. Nigga got low with the food stamp card.
His past convictions in Minnesota included attempted second-degree murder of his then-girlfriend and for second-degree criminal sexual conduct involving her 12-year-old daughter in 2008, and for third-degree assault involving another girlfriend in 2019. Police obtained a search warrant for both Shauna and her boyfriend's apartment and found key evidence, a blood-stained pack of Newport cigarettes. Blood on walls. Scissors and a broken knife covered.
Yeah, they going crazy about the chip comments. They're going crazy. You can't have an opinion these days. You can't not like some shit. That shit was not all that, bro. That shit was mid. They're like, oh, he don't know the context. Like, nigga, y'all don't know what I know. Them niggas ain't on kick with us. Yeah, I know everything, nigga. They think I don't know. Nah, that shit was just not hitting, bro. The fuck?
Covered in blood. Meanwhile, in Bilbrough's apartment, more evidence was found. One of the clearest pieces of evidence against Bilbrough was a dog covered in soot and smelling of smoke. The dog found in his apartment belonged to Shauna. It became clear this wasn't just a tragic fire. It was the scene of a murder. The autopsy reports revealed that the cause of Shauna's death was not an accidental fire, but homicide. She had multiple sharp force injuries to her head and neck, with a perforation to her left eye. Her nasal bone was fractured. Police officers spoke to a witness who called Bilbrough and told him of the fire. Bilbrough said that he was with Shauna when her ex-boyfriend showed up, so he left. When his apartment was searched, he was nowhere to be found. The next day, Bilbrough was finally located by officers as he hid in grass near a trail and was arrested on the spot. He was found with a blood-stained piece of paper, along with Shauna's EBT credit card.
We'll talk in a second. You're under arrest. Don't move.
You guys want to stop or you guys go?
Yeah, you want to grab him over there? Yep. My left? Yep.
Dickhead. Look at this dickhead. Look at this dickhead. Look at this dickhead.
What's your name?
Dickhead.
Sorry? Melvin? All right, Melvin. Is this yours? All right.
After his arrest, Bilbrough agreed to speak with investigators about the fatal fire and the death of his girlfriend hours earlier.
So I want to clear up a few things with my partners. I'd like to keep talking with you here, if that's okay. All right. So, like I mentioned before, I guess I'd like to talk about you being under the bridge a little bit. And how'd you end up there?
I was just there, man. I seriously, I got nervous as hell because all I know was a moving on the left side of me and a moving on the right side of me. So I was just sitting in the middle, so I can watch both sides. I don't know what it was, but I just wanted to move when I felt a little comfortable. Because I told you I smoked some weed, I'm really high, and that's that.
Okay. You're quite a long ways away from North St. Paul, I guess, under that bridge.
I mean, the first time.
It's a pretty decent walk, I think. I mean, it was like a 10-minute drive for us.
I usually jog.
So you were in that whole way?
No. I usually, when I'm working out, I jog.
Okay.
So I've been further than that.
How long were you on the trail for?
I have no idea. I just pace. I don't count time. I don't even count steps.
What time did you leave the apartment, your apartment?
Niggas how count time. I don't even count steps.
I don't even remember.
What the fuck
I went right across the street, and that's why I ran into Jay and he started smoking weed.
How come you didn't stay at the apartment when people were telling you that?
Then I called. I'm the one who called. I was making phone calls. So I let him like, look, what's going on? Went back upstairs. I went to the store. I came running back, but I was in the area.
You went to the store?
Yeah.
What store?
Holiday.
Holiday? Did you buy anything there?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes? Okay. And where'd you go after Holiday?
Right back around the area.
What do you mean? What area?
Where on the street from my house. Well, I was coming right back down here, so I'm like, wanting to go around. Everybody thought I went in the building and started saving people. I'm like, no.
So how come you weren't hanging out when the fire department and police department arrived? Because everybody else was. I mean, pretty much everybody that lives there was there.
I don't hardly even be at home. I'm usually at work this time.
Yeah, I understand that. I guess the kind of question that I'm struggling with is that you've got a friend, right? Probably a pretty good friend, it sounds like, that you have some sort of relationship with. And you realize that her apartment's on fire, and then you just leave.
Well, like I said, it's happened before. So I'm thinking that's what it was. She cooked a couple pieces in the damn oven, and they just caught fire in here, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you didn't think to go check on her?
Nigga said he saw the fire. He came there, saw the fire, and spent. He ain't go try to save her or nothing. This is John, though. He said she always have shit on fire.
People are telling you that there's a fire inside her apartment. I'm guessing there's probably flames shooting out the windows.
I was there for a brief, you know what I'm saying, but I don't want to.
You were there for a brief?
No, I was outside when they came and banged on my door.
So why'd you act surprised when we asked you or told you that there's a fire there?
I wasn't that surprised at all.
I'm really struggling with why you wouldn't stay. I mean, I think the average person, a reasonable person, would have stayed in that situation. If they're friends, they're close friends, their apartment's on fire and probably something could have happened to them, you'd stay around because you're concerned, right?
Right.
And you want to be with your other friends and help them deal with it and vice versa. Okay, so I'm struggling with why you chose to leave.
Honestly, I wanted to smoke.
I want to smoke.
I went to go smoke and just sit back and see what happens. Because, like, I can't do nothing, about it. I'm going to be in the way.
I'm gonna just be in the way.
I'm going to finding you and arresting you, and you had that piece of paper that we talked about in your pocket,
Right.
with the blood on it. Whose blood is that?
That's mine.
That's yours?
I'm sure.
Where's your cut at that blood came from?
I was right here. Told you I work with a corrugator at work.
Where? Show me where the cut is.
Right here.
On your knuckle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I work with a corrugator, if you're ever familiar with that.
So that's what, there's a fair amount of blood there on that piece of paper. So when we test the DNA on it, it's going to be yours?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I want to go back and let's just forget about I know you said that nobody saw you in the window. I understand that. We want to forget about that, okay? That's really not super important here. to be honest with you. We've got this other evidence that we already discussed, okay? And this other evidence is blood evidence. And like we talked about already, blood is going to show belonging to a specific individual, and that's going to be her blood. The problem that we have is that you have her blood on clothing in your apartment with her dog that's going to have soot on it, and we're going to test that. And we've got this dead woman in her apartment. You see how that's a problem?
Bilbro changed his story several times, first saying he was just friends with Shauna, then that they had a sexual relationship. He said he was at his apartment during the fire and walked away to smoke. He claimed he last saw Shauna on August 23rd, then said it was August 25th. While still maintaining his innocence, the investigators held several pieces of key evidence against Bilbro that would soon be submitted to the court.
Melvin? All right, Melvin. Is yours? All right.
Shauna grew up in North Minneapolis and was remembered by friends and family members not only for her courageous battle with breast cancer, but for her outgoing, positive energy, her love of animals, and for her fearless spirit. Family wrote that quote, "Although her life was taken so abruptly, we are so grateful God blessed us with her beautiful presence." In January 2024, Bilbro waived his right to a jury trial and instead opted to have the judge be the sole decider of his guilt. Ramsey County Judge David Brown reviewed all the submitted evidence and arguments from both sides. He wrote in an 84-page filing that a pattern of continued domestic abuse was proven by prosecutors, and they had proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Bilbro was the one who killed Shauna, set the fire.
I ain't gonna lie. If you're in jail, you better do a jury trial. Don't ever let it be up to the judge and the evidence and all that. They gonna cook you. They gonna cook you. You better off letting your peers do that shit. Somebody might be like, I don't believe him. I don't know. Somebody might. You never know. The judge ain't jagging at you. You ain't got no fucking chance.
At the apartment and fled the scene. On February 2nd, 2024, Judge Brown found Bilbro guilty of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and first-degree arson. He was sentenced to life in prison and remains in custody in Stillwater without the possibility of parole.
That sound about right. What? Oh, I thought that shit said something else. I thought that shit said something else.
This unsuspecting man is about to show just how much of a monster he really is. On September 12, 2021, this man, 38-year-old Antoine Suggs, assassinated 4 innocent people in the middle of the night. Our small team of investigative reporters has gathered the footage and case details about Antoine and how all 4 murders came to be in order to present the whole story in its entirety for the first time ever. This all started very early in the morning a few days prior on September 8th. Antoine arrived in Minnesota via airplane from his home state of Arizona, and footage shows that nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. But that changes very soon. Antoine is picked up by an unknown person and leaves the airport with them. A few days later, on September 11th, late at night, Antoine revisits the airport in a new luxury Mercedes SUV. Later investigations report that this car was recently loaned to Antoine. It is unknown whether or not Antoine is connected to a larger organized crime group. While it's a logical hypothesis considering the value of this luxury car Antoine is now driving, we have yet to unfold the full story of this case, as it is only just heating up. We don't know why Antoine revisited the airport, but the surveillance footage gives us a glimpse at his passenger, who bears a striking resemblance to one of his future murder victims, Nitosha Lee Flug Presley. If the passenger is indeed Nitosha, then this was one of the last images showing her alive. According to a complaint filed by an anonymous person, a witness said they saw Antoine and Nitosha taking shots together at a bar just hours after he left the airport. Records also show that Nitosha's aunt told investigators that Antoine and Nitosha were romantically involved. Putting all this information together, it's becoming more and more likely that this passenger is indeed Nitosha. After a night of drinking, it is believed that Antoine and Nitosha went to a residence in St. Paul, where they spent time with 3 other people who would soon become Antoine's other 3 future murder victims. They were Lois Foreman III, Matthew Pettis, and Jasmine Sturm. Just hours later that same night, now the very early morning of September 12th, surveillance footage caught this altercation sometime around 3:30 a.m. in St. Paul, Minnesota. In this footage, we hear gunshots and then that same Mercedes car speed through the streets. It is clear this is when the murders happened, but what Antoine does after this is quite shocking. On the same day around 10 a.m., after driving around for many hours trying to figure out—
Follow the kick, bro. That's where I react to music at. Follow the kick. Link is in the description, bro.
What to do with the dead bodies, Antoine decided that he needed help hiding the bodies. So he makes plans to meet up with his father, 56-year-old Darren Osborne, at a gas station during the day. Antoine's plan was to have his father follow him into western Wisconsin to a cornfield where they would find an inconspicuous place to dump the car with the bodies in it. Osborne later told officers that he had no idea at this point there were bodies in Antoine's car.
Wow.
On the way to meet with his father, Antoine stops at a different gas station than the one planned for the meetup spot. In this disturbing surveillance footage that shows this particular stop, you can even see one of the deceased victims in the passenger seat, limp and showing no signs of life.
What?
And while those bodies are in the car, Antoine is inside the gas station, paying for his gas just like it's another normal day. Antoine continued traveling to the meetup.
Nigga was riding around. Nigga was riding around with the dead body. I'm going live on Kick in a few minutes too. After this one. Yo, nigga riding around with the dead bodies in the car. Passy. Dead body in the passy just chilling. Nigga cold-blooded. I ain't gonna lie.
Spot, moving from St. Paul, Minnesota to Dunn County, Wisconsin. This time, stopping at the originally planned gas station. We see him and his father convene at the gas station and they speak a bit before driving away. It is presumed Antoine had now moved the body out of the front passenger seat, considering his father would have clearly noticed a deceased human being sitting in the car. That is, Antoine's father is telling the truth. Again, at this point, according to the father, he did not know what Antoine was up to. However, it is reported that Antoine allegedly confessed to his father, soon after the meetup, that he had snapped and shot the victims. At this point, it's becoming more and more difficult for Antoine's father to deny his involvement with this situation. Antoine and his father allegedly went on to hide the car with the bodies in it in a cornfield further into Wisconsin. It is reported that a local anonymous farmer found the abandoned Mercedes in a cornfield in Dunn County, Wisconsin. He very quickly reported it to the police. At this time, no one knew of Antoine's or his father's involvement. However, we do have body cam footage that details some of the officers' experiences investigating the car in the cornfield with the deceased victims in it. What they find is extremely brutal.
That's where we're gonna go in right here.
Look at that, burn the car or nothing?
Yeah, we can do
something. Just hurt.
We did open the back door. If you need to open the back door.
Do we know if that one in the back on the far right is male or female?
Do you know? The one on the far back? The behind the driver?
I thought it was a female.
So they were stiff when you moved them?
Yes.
Somebody said?
I opened that door. I basically went like this, and it was just, you know, hard, stiff, rigor, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, the male, we didn't check anything on him. I thought there was like a hole. Looks like there might be blood pooling in his ear, or I thought maybe that was an entry or exit wound. I'm not sure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I ran out.
Well, it looks like if an actual key started on push button too. The keys, there's no keys in the ignition.
A bunch of blood on their shoe. I see that.
Yeah, it's pooled, yeah. Definite bullet wound to the right side of the face, right side of the ear on him, on the male.
That's what I thought.
These officers are taking careful note of entry and exit wound details for a very important reason. This detail alone is extremely helpful in determining if the murders were committed with intent or in self-defense.
I mean, that looks like an entrance wound right there.
It didn't look like an exit wound to me. I'm guessing she got shot in the body, though. Yeah, there's blood on her left arm and on her right, and it's old. Watch your right shoulder now.
Yep.
Oh, what's in the pocket, Dan?
There? Dried blood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's dripping right now.
Oh, yeah.
Male. And shot wound to the head. Right, yep. There's the exit wound over here. See on the front seat?
Yeah.
Right below, right where the shoulder rest is, that white stuff, is that brain matter or skull particulates?
Hard to say. Is she wearing her seatbelt still?
No,
I couldn't tell if it was just behind her. Behind her.
Just probably so that it wouldn't beep. Because the weight's in there, so it'd beep.
I want to know where the gunshot wound is on this other gal. How do you have exit wounds and there's no damage in the vehicle? Well then, but also if it's a headshot, wouldn't she have splatter? I mean, you got splatter on him, but it's just weird. Well, his is coming from his nose. You know, that's just draining from the nose from the brain. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alright, well, did we look through the... Well, let's just get out of here, I guess. We'll go talk to Kyle.
During later investigations, Antoine's Arizona ID card was found on the floor of the car, covered in blood. This pointed the officers directly to him and later his father as well, as more information was discovered after they reviewed the previously shown surveillance footage. Officers arrested Antoine's father first, and then charged Antoine with 4 counts of hiding a corpse. Antoine, now back in Arizona, turned himself in to the Arizona authorities. Antoine would now be brought back to St. Paul, Minnesota, the city where he committed the murders. This is where his dramatic legal trial would take place. Over the course of the next few days of Antoine's trial, he claimed, incredulously, that he acted in self-defense in the killing and transporting of the 4 victims, which the prosecutors stated that they find improbable. Antoine has had a lengthy history of breaking the law, including multiple instances of unlawful possession of a firearm, possession of marijuana in a vehicle, driving with a suspended license, and much more. Even though Antoine had never racked up any charges nearly as serious as murder, this made it quite clear that Antoine is no stranger to criminal activity. During the trial, Antoine never gave any reason other than self-defense. He said the 4 victims were attempting to rob him, claiming he was the victim in this situation. However, going back to what the police learned about the entry and exit wounds of the bullets in the bodies, it's obvious this is definitely not a case of self-defense. Even though no one believed Antoine's excuse, he still gave no other reason as to why he did this. So we may never know his true motive behind murdering the 4 innocent victims. The jurors, after 6 hours of deliberation, decided that Antoine was found guilty on all 4 counts of second-degree intentional murder and was sentenced to 103 years in prison. His father, Darren Osborne, was charged with 1 count of aiding an offender. After pleading guilty, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. These are the jury verdicts that show Antoine being found guilty on all 4 counts of murder. Judge Paul Harris, the judge who sentenced Antoine, told him this: "Each one of these individuals deserves that you serve time for each one of them." What do you believe could have possibly been Antoine's motive for killing these 4 innocent people? Let us know what you think.
Nigga, we don't know. Hold on. Yo, we gonna live on Kick, man. Beat me there. Hold on. Yeah, beat me there. I'm going over there.